The First Book of Christ for Atheists, Chapter 5. Mother Gallagher, O Mother Gallagher. Available on YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, Instagram, where you may purchase it through Amazon for $20. My mother Helen was of Polish descent and settled for my dad. She had a degree from the University of Toronto, studied music in Krakow, Poland, and always wished that she could have married a professional man. In those days, a woman hitting 30 considered herself less likely to get married because of her age, so she settled for my dad because no one else had asked her for her hand. My dad, on the other hand, married Catholic, so no matter what, for better or for worse, she would stay with him, and besides, he was in his 30s and ready to settle down. In those days, people followed the rules laid down by the church. It was love, marriage, children, in that order. Their marriage wasn't made in La La Land, however. I wasn't pleased with the way my mother would put down my dad. My two sisters and I had to listen to my mom belittling our dad because he was a blue-collar worker who came from a ranch. Farmer, she would call him. It was because of the bickering that I considered not getting married. I'm only staying with you because of the kids, Mother would say. As kids, we felt responsible for our mother's unhappiness. My father told me that women were stupid. He had inherited from my grandfather, as taught in the Bible, a belief that men were superior to women. Bringing this up to my mother for curiosity, and because I'm a Transvaal daisy disturber. Remember, I don't use dirty words, so I use flowers and plants. My mother quoted, "Women's faults are many. Men have only two. Everything they say and everything they do." From my observations and the evolution of our society in providing opportunities for women previously denied, this is not true. As an example, with my mother, when governments were going off the gold standard, my mother wanted to invest a $3,000 insurance policy that had matured into gold at $35 an ounce. Her banker talked her out of it. Within the year, it had become worth $900 an ounce. Mother wanted to spend their retirement years in Florida and invest in a motel. My father didn't want anything but the stability of their home at the lake. Risk-taking was out of the question for him. What my mother had was intelligence and was a creative thinker. What she lacked was confidence. In spite of their differences, they were good parents and grandparents. It was at the end of their lives when I realized how their love and commitment had grown strong, and the flaws and weaknesses that they discovered in each other didn't matter. They committed for life until death did they part. A mother's love for her children cannot be measured against the love that we have for those that surround us. Unfortunately, no one writes or sings about the dear lady who would love you unconditionally in spite of your many flaws. In a tribute to my own mother, I will print the words of a song written in 1910. Scarcity of songs about mothers is a shame, given what they sacrifice for their children. This is called Mother McCree. There's a spot in my heart which no Colleen may own. There's a depth in my soul never sounded or known. There's a place in my memory, my life, that you fill. No other can take it. No one will ever will. Sure, I love the dear silver that shines in your hair, and the brow that's all furrowed and wrinkled with care. I kiss the dear fingers so toil-worn for me. Oh, God bless you and keep you, Mother McCree. Every sorrow or care in the dear days gone by was made bright by the light of the smile in your eye. Like a candle that's set in the window at night, your fond love has cheered me and guided me right. Sure, I love the dear silver that shines in your hair, and the brow that's all furrowed and wrinkled with care. I kiss the dear fingers so toil-worn for me. Oh, God bless you and keep you, Mother McCree. For old men and fathers, there appears to be an abundance of sentimental songs showing appreciation for dads and mentors. Of course, Cats in the Cradle heaps the guilt on most fathers who know they could have done better. But the song most appreciated by myself and others with slight warped senses of morality is the following. It was written by an Englishman. The gist of the story is the seduction of a young, pretty lady by an old and lecherous stamp collector. It would be a shame if this song is lost through the ages, because any old guy with the inability to seduce will share a smile as his imagination reflects on what he could have done at some point in his life. But he wouldn't, because that would be wrong, as he catches himself sinning through the thought once again. What I find interesting is the author, Michael Flanders, died at 53, not even at the age when his fictitious seducer would have attempted this most foul deed. It should also be pointed out that no young ladies of today would be interested in a stamp collection. But that was the precise bait used to entice the young lady to come to his flat. But enough. The singing group, the Limelighters, do a fantastic job of creating the atmosphere under which the old man made his moves. Slight correction, Michael Flanders at 50 would have been 33 years older than the young lady that would qualify him as a dirty old man. As you can see, being a dirty old man can start early in life. Have some Madeira, Madeira. Words and music, Michael Flanders and Donald Swan. And it's a song, so it starts off with a luggity-yum, and a scooby-doo, and a scooby-doo. But the words go, she was young, she was fair, she was new, she was nice, she was pure, she was sweet 17. He was old, he was vile, no stranger to vice. He was bad, he was base, he was mean. He had slyly inveigled her up to his flat to view his collection of stamps, all unperforated. And he said, as he hastened to put out the wine, the cigar, the cat, and the lamps, "Have some Madeira, Madeira. You really have nothing to fear. I don't want to tempt you. That wouldn't be right. One shouldn't drink spirits at this time of night. Have some Madeira, Madeira. It's really an excellent year. I don't care for sherry, and one cannot drink stout. And port is a wine I could well do without. You see, it's a case of chacun en sa gout. Have some Madeira, Madeira." Unaware of the wiles of the snake in the grass and the fate of the maiden who topes, she lowered her standards by lifting her glass, her mind, her courage, and his hopes. She sipped it, she drank it, she drained it, she did. He quietly refilled it again. And he said, as he secretly carved one more notch on the butt of his gold-handled cane, "Have some Madeira, Madeira. I have a small cask of it here. And once it's been opened, well, you know it won't keep. Do finish it up. It will help you to sleep. Have some Madeira, Madeira. It's ever so much nicer than beer. Now, if it were gin, you'd be wrong to say yes. The evil gin does is hard to assess. And besides, it's inclined to affect your prowess. Have some Madeira, Madeira." Then a flash through her mind what her mother had said, with her and ultimate breath. "Oh, my child, should you gaze on the wine twitches red, be prepared for a fate worse than death." She let go her glass with a faint little cry. Crash tinkle, it fell to the floor. When he said, "What in heaven?" she made no reply. Up her mind and a dash for the door. "Have some Madeira, Madeira," rang out down the hall loud and clear. In a tremulous voice that was filled with despair, she paused to take breath in the cool midnight air. Have some Madeira, Madeira. The words seemed to ring in her ear until the next morning when she woke up in bed with a smile on her lips and an ache in her head and a beard in her ear hole which tickled and said, "Have some Madeira, Madeira." I'm sorry I do get enthusiastic about that song. Let's get back to reviewing the laws under which we can guide our morality after that off-course song that followed a lovely tribute to moms. Remember that men often get sidetracked. I use the above song as an example of going off track. The devil made me do it. We have had 2 generations of adults that would recite the above song at parties, as the lyrics and gestures that accompanied the recital made for some pretty humorous evenings. The generation of today would take the song too seriously and would consider the negative impact on the young lady. The fun and the humor is lost in taking this fictional situation too seriously. End of the chapter.